Hello YouTubers, I'm Parvez, and in this Django video we are going to talk about the aggregation in Django. So the meaning of aggregation is the collection of related items of content so that they can be displayed or linked to. Now there are different cases that you can use aggregation in Django. For example, for finding maximum and minimum values of column in database tables, or for finding count of records in database table, or for finding average value of a group or similar. And also if you want to sum values of a column, you can use aggregation. Now in the most cases we can use aggregation on columns of data types that are integer, float, date, date and time, and also etc. Now we can tell that aggregation are nothing but a way to perform an operation on group of rows in database. So they are represented by operators like sum, average, or maximum, minimum, count. So for doing of these operations, there are two methods that you can use in Django. We have aggregate, and also we have annotate. Now aggregate is an operation like sum, average, min, max without a group by, while annotate is an operation with a group by on rowset table.id. So now let me just show you some examples. The first thing I need, I have already created a project in here, so this is my project. Also an important issue, I have a complete series on Django for beginners. It's about 4 hours training. I have added the link to the video description. You can check that video if you're new to Django. So now the first thing I need, I'm going to just create an app. So Python manage.py start app, and you can give a name to your app. For example, let me call it my app. So cd my project, and now I want to run this comment, and it will create an app for my Django project. Okay, now my app is created, and you can see in my app, so this is my app. And now I want to also I need to let me just add this app in my settings.py. Let me just open this settings.py, and okay, I'm going to add this my app and my installed apps in here. You need to do this when you are going to app. You need to add your apps in the installed apps. So after this, let me just so Python manage.py migrate. Okay, now also I'm going to just create Python manage.py create super user, because I will work with the Django shell. So create super user, and okay, the username, let me just give it the username, and you can give let me leave it blank, the email address, and for the password let me just give a password and try again. Okay, the password is entirely numeric, no problem, yes. Okay, now we have created our super user in here. Now the first thing I need, I'm going to just create a model in my models.py. So if you see Django documentation for the aggregation, now you can see the topic guides on Django database abstraction API describe the way that you can use Django queries that create, retrieve, update, and delete individual objects. However, sometimes you will need to retrieve values that are divided by summarizing or aggregating a collection of objects. So now let me just add my model in here, and let me pause the video and I add my models in this section. Okay guys, now you can see this is my model. I have just a class author, and I have a name for the class author. It's a car field, and this is for returning our self.name. and I have a class publisher, and also I have a class book that I have name, price, and the author is money to money field, and also I have a publisher, so it's a foreign key to publisher. Now this is my model. Now I need to just make migrations in here, so Python manage.py make migrations, and also Python manage.py make migrate, Python manage.py migrate, not make migrate. Okay, now the first thing I need, let me just add these models in my admin.py, because I need to add some data manually. So from .models, I'm going to just import book, author, and also publisher. So like this, and after this, let me just register these to my admin panel. So admin.site.register, and I'm going to register the book, and let me just copy all of these and paste it in here for the author and also for the publisher, like this. So now if I run my application, my Django application, let me just open a new terminal, or I can do this in here, cd, okay, python manage.py run server. Okay, now it's created, and now if I go to localhost 8000 and admin, let me just add my username and add my password in here. Okay, so now you can see we have our authors, our books, and publishers. Now let me just add some data in here. First, let me add some authors, and you can add like this author, save, and so I have added 2 times. So let me just, no problem, let me just add this, and add another author, for example Bob, and I'm going to just add another author, for example John. Let me just remove this one author like this. Yes, I am sure. Okay, now we have added some authors. Now let me just open my publishers. Let me add some publisher in here. So for example, let me call it first, whatever you want, but I'm going to just call it first. And this is the second publisher, and this is the third publisher. Okay, now it's time to add some books. You can click on add book. Now I can add, for example, Django book, and the author you can choose, and also you can choose the publisher, for example first publisher, and like this you can add. Let me just, okay, the price, for example, let me just give it a price. Okay, now let me just pause the video and add some more books in here. Okay, now I have added some books in here. So now we are going to do some operations, aggregate operations. So let me just create a new session, and let me make it bigger like this. So or even I can just in PyCharm I can make it so move to, or we can make it split mode like this, or let me just use windowed mode. And yeah, so now let me just open Python. I'm using Django shell manage.py shell. cd my project. Okay, now this is my Django shell. The first thing I need to import. So from my app models, I'm going to import book. Okay, so now you can count all books. So using book dot objects dot count, you can see we have 8 book in our, for example, in our database. Now you can total the number of books with a specific publisher. For example, let me just say book dot objects dot filter, and in here you can give the publisher name. So publisher underscore name, and you can give the name of the for example, the publication that you have. So I have, let me just make it for example second. So it was my publication, second publication. If I hit enter, so now you can see that we have the Python new book and the Kotlin book for our second publisher. Now if you change this to, for example, first publisher, now let me just change this to so first, and if you hit enter, so for the first also I have 3, so Django book, Ruby book, and also Flask book. Now also you can average prices across all books. So now you need to import from Django .db .models, we are going to import average, so avg or average. And now you can say that book dot objects dot all, and in here you can use aggregate. So dot aggregate, and you need to specify the average of prices, so avg and price, and in here you need to write price. And if I hit enter, so you can see now the average price is 121.25, the average prices for the books. Now also you can find the max price for the books. So for this you can just simply say import max instead of average. So and you can just simply okay, now in here you need to just change the average to max, and it will be find the max prices for the book. So let me just remove this average and make this max. So max, and if I hit enter, you can see the max price for my book is 185. Also you can find the mean price. So first you need to import the mean from django.db.models, import mean, and now you can just simply use the mean price instead of max price. and if I hit enter, you can see that the mean price is 50 for my books. Now also you can find the sum of prices. If you want to sum all prices, you can do so. Now let me just first import the sum from Django.models. You need to import sum, and you can simply say that instead of main, we are going to find the sum of the prices for my all books. So you need to remove this and write sum in here, hit enter. You can see now this is the sum of the price for the all books. Now also you can use multiple, for example, aggregation. So let me just show you. So book dot objects dot aggregate so dot aggregate, and in here we are going to just for example, we want to find the average of the price, and also we are going to find the max of the price. So you can write max, and you need to write the price in here. So now if I hit enter, you will see that you are receiving the average and also max of the price. So now this is the average and this is the max. It was using multiple aggregation in a query set. So now also you can so let me just show you an example of the annotate, that how you can use annotate. For example, you want to list all the publisher for the book using annotate. Now let me just create a pub variable, and first we need to import the publisher. So from my app dot models import publisher. Okay, now after this let me just create a pubs, and this is publisher dot objects dot annotate, and for example let me write num books, and I want to count the book. So count you need to write book. Now I can hit enter. As no attribute, oh sorry, I have misspelling in the annotate. Now let me just make it correct. Just remove this one, and if I hit I have double N in here, so like this. If I hit enter, count is not defined. Also I need to import this, so from Django.db.models import count, on line 1. Okay, there was error, so in my from misspelling, so let me just let me just remove all of them. Now if I hit enter, you can see. Now let me just run my this command again, annotate. Okay, now you can just say pubs, and I want the 0. So if you see this, the 0 publication is the first, and also you can say .numBooks, and it will show the first publication books, so the books that are published by the first publication. Now you can see we have 3 book for the this publication. So like this you can use aggregation and annotate. You can check the documentation of Django. There are a lot of good examples. So thank you guys. If you have any question, please let me know, and for the further videos please subscribe to my channel, and also